if this is happening. How do I live? Apparently, so let's shut down this one on my computer. Stopping the stream over there. We're live on my phone. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream. So how do I share this with people? Share. Copy link. Alright, so can I leave this now? Look at that. You're live. So, if we go into, let's go back over here. It says that this is still live. Let's go ahead and close that. Okay. And post this to Patreon. Welcome to the first ever live stream where I'm making a complete noob out of myself. Use YouTube Live. We're in my van here. All right, let's post this to the Patrons. And I'm live! Exclamation point! That's a crazy photo. Publish. All right, publish now. All right, so patrons. So this is the first ever one that I've done, like I said, so that's why this is so rough. We'll figure this out. Let's see if this is working. I'm live. Currently, I'm the only one watching my live stream. How about that, hey? Alrighty. Posts. And let's go ahead and delete this one. Boom. Delete posts. Alright. I'm here. So we'll see how this goes. This is accessible only to the patrons, and this is the first one that I've ever done. So we'll see how many people join. Currently it says that there's one person watching, and that is me in my own tab. This is listed as unlisted, so only people with a link can access it. And that's how it is possible to do a live stream only for the Patreon, even though it is through YouTube Live. Like I said on the video, which if you haven't seen it, today I posted two videos. I posted a video about Gladys, an update video on Gladys 2.0, and then I also created a little Patreon video to kind of rededicate myself and explain what my plan is with Patreon, and also what my plans are for this year. So I posted two videos today, so if you haven't seen those, check those out. But Thursday, we're also doing a live stream, so this is kind of a test for that to make sure I know how everything works, as well as a private live stream for you where you get however many currently it's one-on-one time with me and myself because I'm the only one in the live stream. But here's what the plan is. The plan is hold up, swap. Orientation is, there we go, we're back. Okay, so the plan for this year is to go to the Mediterranean. Why would you want to go to the Mediterranean, Dylan? That seems like a crazy idea. Well, the reason I want to go to the Mediterranean is because partly I'm a little bit crazy, but mainly I want to sail the Mediterranean. So I was thinking about this. People have asked me how did the idea come about that to go sail the Mediterranean. And one day, I don't remember exactly the day, it wasn't like a monumental thing per se for me, that moment, but what happened was I was sitting around thinking and I was like, you know, I'm kind of getting a little bit tired of van life, mainly because like I can't stand up in here, so that's a total drag. But also there's a lot of downsides of van life that people don't necessarily talk about. And I mean, it's difficult. Life is difficult in general, and being a nomad is difficult in particular. And so having a tiny home, micro home of 56 square feet, I was thinking like, you know, I think I still want to keep traveling. But the main goal I'm kind of shooting for is to be able to eventually base for a while in a place and then travel, and then base and then travel. And so this winter I've been doing that a little bit with Yucca Valley here in California, in Joshua Tree, Yucca Valley area. I've been, like the month of December, I lived in a house out here, and now, what is this month? March. Oh, excuse me. In a few days, actually tomorrow, I'll be moving into a house, and I'll be staying there for the month of March. And so that will allow me a little bit of decompression time, as well as time to focus on work and some other things. And so the reason I'm doing that is so that I can like recoup. And one of the things about like being nomadic and traveling full-time is there's a lot of practical things that about daily life that people don't think about that actually are like really difficult. One of those things being like, okay, I'm in a new place, so I need to figure out gym, I need to figure out groceries, I need to figure out work. So just those three things, and then I need to figure out fun. And so four things, those get to be like pretty difficult, especially whenever it's like I'm trying to figure out where to film, who to film, what to film, and then where to edit, when to edit, who to edit, and then where am I gonna work out so I can stay healthy, where am I gonna get food, high quality food. That was one of the most difficult things in Mexico, was getting like high quality food. It was really interesting going into Mexico. First of all, you cross the border and there's like an immediate difference between the US and Mexico. You cross this invisible line on the earth, which has now been, it's a real line now because humans have built it up. But you cross this line and you're like, oh, I'm definitely in a different country. This is not the US of A. Oh, hello, we've got somebody who is here. Comments. If you're here, leave a comment and say who you are, because it's the two of us right now. Let's see. What happens if I click that? Oh, those are different features. There's all sorts of different things on this. Oh, we're down to one person. So whoever that was left. So back to talking about Mexico to myself at the moment. One of the interesting things about going into Mexico, like I said, is that it's immediately different as soon as you cross the border. And now it says there's 0 people. How are there 0 people? Oh, let's see. Let's see if that comes back online. Bop, 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 bop. Well, so you cross the border, completely different country, obviously. And one of the things that I found very shocking was the blatant difference in quality of food, which I did not expect. I just assumed that, you know, traveling a new country, there's gonna be food. Like, I just never really thought about that. So I went down there and it was like clearly different quality of food. So finding high quality food on the road can actually be difficult. Whenever you're in the United States of America, it's relatively easy because I don't think US citizens understand how amazing we have it in this country whenever it comes to access to food, access to clean water. It's so safe here. It really is an amazing country. But that's something that you have to consider. So it says there's one person online. If you're online, leave me a comment, because like I said, this is my first ever live stream and we're testing the waters together. Are you here? Maybe not. Who is this one person that's watching the live stream? Is it my own self? It might very well be that I'm watching my own live stream on my laptop, and it really is only me here. Me talking to a camera. Well, if I'm gonna continue talking, which I am, because, you know, like, I've got a camera on me, so might as well talk. What would I like to talk about? Well, Kevin Kowalski replied to a comment. Yo, Kevin, are you watching this? You watching this right now? Because if you are, I mean, what's up, dude? Welcome to the first ever live stream. I don't know if you're actually live with me or if you have to watch the past 11 minutes that I've been recording talking to myself. If so, I apologize for the, a little bit craziness. But this is learning. This is learning on the fly. I am doing this on my phone right now because I was having issues doing it on my laptop. I'm in my van, as you can see. This is the van right now. There's the laptop. I'm sitting right outside of, can you see that? There's a cafe right out there. That's Frontier Cafe here in Yucca Valley, Joshua Tree. And so I was boosting their Wi-Fi, trying to, you know, do it on my laptop, do it proper. But it was like going too slow. And so after like 30 minutes of me just messing up, then let's see. Nope, it's live now. Wish there was a live chat. Try opening on YouTube and using, let's see, it says there's 2 people online. Can you click through to YouTube? Let's see, I'm gonna set this down. There we go, look at that. Genius. Just sit down the phone, Dylan, and then you can use 2 hands on the laptop. Word, I'll jump on the YouTube. So, as soon as you get here, Kev, can I call you Kev? Kevin Kowalski. I got it. Let's see. 2 people. Oh, look, it looks like I'm one of those people. So if I leave a comment here. Hello, beautiful beings. Ah, hey, there we go. It did appear. So that works. Did Kev leave? Let's see. What I'll do is I'll copy this link, go back over here. Yeah, it says 2 people. Is Kevin back? Kevin, is that you? Or is it still just me? We're learning as we go here on YouTube. Oh, it says 3 people. Hey, that means we're gaining traction. Who else is here? Hey, yo, Kevin, what's up? How is it going? So, welcome to the first ever live stream. We're here in the van. We're here in Gladys. I'm in Joshua Tree, Yucca Valley, California. And we're sitting in the van. There's the laptop, obviously. I was pretty good. Good. I'm glad. I'm sitting outside of, can you see that? That is Frontier Cafe. I am doing pretty well. Sitting outside of Frontier Cafe, I was trying to boost their Wi-Fi out here on my laptop so that I could live stream, but it was like giving me all sorts of trouble because this is my first time and Wi-Fi is slow going through brick walls and through a van, so I'm doing it on my phone, and that's how we got here now. But it seems like the live chat's working, which is super dope. So we got 3 people on. I know one of them's me because, as you can see here, I'm watching my own live stream. And so that's that. We have Kevin and one other person. Woo! First ever live stream. Making history, boy. Well, I don't know. Do you guys get caught all the way up to real time? I don't know if you're actually caught up to real time or if you have to watch the 16 minutes of past time. But it says we got 4 people. So if you guys have any questions specifically, then yeah, we're real time. Dope. So if you have any questions specifically, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I can just kind of keep giving you a rundown of what's going on. So I said that I was in Yucca Valley, boosting the Wi-Fi, trying to do this, first time ever. And we're doing it for the Patreons. So what I'm trying to do is I want to dedicate more time to the patrons because, I mean, how challenging is van life in different countries? Just one moment. I want to dedicate more time to the patrons because you guys are the core. Like, I want to develop an actual community and develop an actual relationship with you guys, because I'm wanting to expand the channel, add more people on, create a team, get a boat, have people live aboard the boat, and then eventually bring you guys out onto the boat. So now to the question, how challenging is van life in different countries? So I was talking earlier in this live stream to nobody about the stark difference between Mexico and the United States, and it's very interesting. As soon as you cross the border from into Mexico, it's like, oh my God, I'm in a different country. It's insane. It's like, I just crossed this line in the sand, literally a line in the sand, and it's like impoverished. It's really incredible. And so some of the things that you have in everyday life that you don't have in van life, or that you have to figure out in van life, are groceries. Like, where are you going to get high quality food? Where are you going to exercise? Where are you going to work? And where are you going to sleep? And what was the other one? There was another one too. What are you going to do for fun? So there's like a lot of logistical things that are very difficult about being a nomad, especially whenever you're solo, because it's like, it just starts to get a lot in the brain at one time. So traveling in different countries, the only different countries I've been in a van are Mexico and Canada. Canada is not that bad. Canada is pretty much the same as the US. They're like, I really haven't seen much different between the two countries as far as practically. The people are a little bit nicer there, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I think people are nice. But Mexico is quite different because it's, I think it's technically a third world country. I'm not positive about that. And so one of the most difficult things is finding like high quality food. It was really interesting being down there because as soon as I got back, it was like, oh, my body's just been missing nutrients, because it's just hard. Like it's really interesting, the stark difference. Other challenging things about Mexico are the roads are super rough. There's like really, really long stretches between fuel stations. The Wi-Fi down there is horrendous. And even if somebody says they have Wi-Fi, it's probably going to cut out on you midstream, whatever you're working on. So it would take me forever to upload anything onto the internet. And working in cafes was like, it's just, Mexico is more difficult than the United States of America. Go figure. You say, what about boat life? Well, I say that the plan is to start the boat life. I was thinking about this, I don't know, 6-8 months ago. I was like, I think I'm ready to switch it up. I'm getting a little tired of van life. Not like, I don't hate it. I'll probably go back to it one day. And I mean, even if I don't go back to full-timing, I'll probably always have a van at least for a weekender. But I would like to be able to stand up completely in a van or in my home. That would be dope. Also, I would like a little bit more space because I'm living in 56 square feet, and half of that is a bed. So, to give you a little rundown, here's the bed. This is what it's like in the van. You sit on the bed, you do work here, and then you can cook over here. Then you got the fridge, then you can come up here, and you got this chair here, which you can sit on, and then you got that there. But so the way I do things is I'm either sitting here doing things here, or I'm kind of like crouched like this right here. Or what I've recently added was this little camp stool, this little thing. And so then now I can sit here and do some cooking while sitting without having to sit on the bed. That was a nice addition, I was pretty stoked that I thought about that one 1.5 years into it. But there's a lot of reasons I want to do a boat. I really just want to learn how to sail. That's like one of the main things, is I just want to become a sailor. And so the current plan is to go to Florida. I'll be going to Florida early to mid-April. And once I'm in Florida, I'll be going to sailing school. And so that will be with reef runners in sailing, down in, where is it? Panama City Beach. Jeremy there, I've been in contact with him, and so we've been talking, and we're gonna do a sailing course. And then one of the things about sailing in the Mediterranean, because this is the main goal of the near future, is like get to the Mediterranean, figure out how to get a boat, and start sailing there. So I was like, I mean, I know nothing about. Whenever I thought about this idea, I've been on one. I had been sailed once. I've been on boats before, but sailing like once or twice. And so went to Reddit, because they're always super helpful with information. And I went to the sailing Reddit, and I was like, hey, so I want to go to the Mediterranean. I want to sail the Mediterranean. This is what all I want to do. What kind of like paperwork or legal work do I need in order to in order to do it? Because I assume that you need some sort of paperwork, and I was right, you do need paperwork. And so some of the things that you need is you need radio licensing, you need it's called an ICC, which is an International Certificate of Competence. And those are basically the two things that you need. Then you need all the paperwork for the boat, and then, health insurance, all that kind of stuff. And then if you've got a crew, you need all the paperwork for them. Then you need visas and all that kind of stuff. And they directed me to a website called Noonsite, I think. Let me check. Noonsite, yeah, Noonsite. And they're like, this is what all you need to do. It's impossible to do by April. And I was like, well, okay. I love Reddit because they provide you with accurate information generally. But one of the things about Reddit is they tend to be pretty cynical. And so he was like, yeah, definitely can't do this in that time frame. And I'm like, well, brother, I disagree. I'm going to do it. So we've got this sailing school lined up, going to sail with Jeremy, and he's going to teach us everything that we need to know. And then I can go from there and go over to another place in Florida and just take a test, I think, in order to get the ICC, and then do some radio licensing. So it should be pretty straightforward, and I don't want to say easy, but it should be relatively straightforward. And so then I'll do that, and then I will go from there to Barcelona. And in Barcelona, is where I'm going to figure out how to get a boat. So yeah, I started with no idea how to do any of it. So far, I've figured out what kind of paperwork I need, and I've lined up sailing school, and I need to finish lining up the test taking and stuff like that, but it should be pretty straightforward. And so now the big thing is, like, how do you get a boat? I mean, I don't know. Thanks. I mean, one of the beautiful things about life is, like, I don't know if you've read The Alchemist. It's one of those, like, hippy-dippy books, and I don't know, I read it at what seemed to be, like, the right time in my life to read it, and one of the things that it says is, like, when you want something, when you really want something, and so that idea of wanting is like, well, what does it mean to want something? And I think, like, when you really desire something, then you're desiring what is, like, your true destiny, if you want to think about it like that. What is, like, the path that you're supposed to take, whoever, you know, what feels right for you. And whenever you do that, whenever you really want something, the whole universe conspires to help you achieve that. And I really do believe that, because in my experience, there's been this, like, weird dichotomy of wanting and letting go, and, like, non-desire, desire. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Taoism, but it's been super helpful in my life. And the idea in Taoism is, like, non-action, and so that idea is go with the flow, kind of represents the idea. But something that people don't necessarily think about is that we live in a living universe. Like, the world that we live in is way more complex than we could ever imagine. And what's crazy is our brain is apparently the most complex thing in the universe, and there's, like, 7 billion of us on this planet. So, like, people don't think about that, but that's interesting. But anyway, it seems to, like, push you along and help you if you're on the right path, and it's been helping me so far. So I don't know how I'm gonna get a boat. I know that it will happen. I'm pretty confident in that. I don't know if that's what you call faith or whatnot, but it'll happen. And hopefully, if we can get the Patreon big enough, and we can get, like, funding all correct and all that kind of stuff, and a whole team, production team, then hopefully we'll be able to start doing kind of what I envision is, we'll have a tier on the Patreon where we'll do, like, a monthly contest or campaign, and then start flying people out onto the boat, and then having them come hang out on the boat and crew for a little bit, learn about sailing, learn about filming, have a grand old time, and then we'd fly back. But in order to do that, I mean, I do not make enough money at all to start flying people out and flying people back. So that's where, like, I'm wanting to create a real community, and also wanting to create an actual production team and family here via the internet. It's amazing, the internet. I mean, it's allowed me to do what it is that I've been able to do for the past 4 years, or however long it is that I've been on YouTube. So I guess that's say what about boat life. Does anybody, who are the other people on the stream? It says 3 people on the stream. So I know one of them's me, because my laptop's just running in the background so that I know that it's all going. I mean, I'm using it for the comments. And one of them's Kevin. The other, you don't have to do. But I think we're gonna go for 10 more minutes or so, and then we'll call this good. It says I've been live streaming for 29 minutes thus far, and I mean, you guys haven't been around for 29 minutes, but what else? I have some questions about the van life. Shoot! Let's hear them. Stats about my van. It's a 1992 Chevy G20. I bought Glad dollars in Maine on June 6th of 2000 that I've pet. I know I just ran into some folks in Mexico, Alaska, so they go work in the summer in Alaska in the fishing industry, and then when they're not proper, I think is his Instagram. He uses and he uses that for food and whatnot, and so he can put the dog food in the water and it's gonna be barking the whole time. Ideally, it would just be like laying down sleeping, or I don't know, doing its dog thing. So you can keep the temperature on hikes, and just hike through the mountains with their cat. But I've met people with mold. We still there? Seems like we're having a few issues. But this is the first ever live stream, so living / van life. Well, you could always rent an RV and do it like that. One of